Lily never thought her wedding day would become a survival test. But she also never imagined someone like Ryan would still be in their lives. Ryan was Sarah's older brother, the so-called funny one in the family. But Lily knew better. Ryan didn't do harmless jokes. He did pranks that left scars. Like the time he called Child Protective Services on Lily while she was babysitting her nephew, just to see what would happen. Or the day he sprinkled peanut oil on her salad at a family dinner, knowing she was allergic. "It's just a joke," he said when she started coughing and her lips swelled. "Don't be so dramatic." Lily ended up in the ER. Everyone brushed it off. "Ryan's grieving," Sarah always said. "He hasn't been the same since Mom died." But Lily had seen Ryan's version of grief. It was sharp, cruel, and aimed at anyone Sarah cared about. The worst was when Sarah had a miscarriage. Ryan mailed them a sympathy card with a cartoon stork that read, "Return to sender." Lily found herself crying in the garage, punching the wall until her knuckles bled. That was who Ryan was. Not grieving. Just dangerous. Where are you watching from today? Kindly hit like, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more. Lily's first time meeting Ryan should have been a red flag. It was only their fourth date. She knocked on Sarah's front door, dressed up and nervous, excited to see where the night would go. Instead of Sarah, a man answered the door wearing a dress and holding a knife covered in what looked like blood. "Sarah can't come out," Ryan sobbed dramatically. "There's been an accident." Lily froze. "Oh my God," she whispered, backing away and pulling out her phone. She was dialing 911 when Sarah sprinted down the stairs yelling, "Ryan! What the hell?" Ryan fell to the floor laughing. "You should have seen your face." 2 officers arrived minutes later. When they asked what happened, Ryan told them Lily was unstable and made prank calls all the time. Lily stood there stunned. It took Sarah almost an hour to convince the officers it was all her brother's idea. That should have been the last time Lily saw him. But she loved Sarah. And Sarah loved her broken, dangerous brother. So Lily stayed. The pranks got worse. They weren't even jokes anymore, just cruelty dressed up as comedy. One afternoon, Sarah's father was rushed to the hospital with chest pains. Hours later, Lily got a call from a blocked number. A cold voice said, "I'm sorry. Sarah's father didn't make it." Lily was shattered. She drove straight to Sarah's office, pulled her from a meeting and held her while she broke the news. Sarah screamed. Her co-workers called an ambulance, thinking she was having a heart attack. They raced to the hospital, only to find her father alive and chatting with nurses. In the corner filming the moment was Ryan. "Man, the look on your faces," he chuckled to himself. Sarah was in shock. Lily was shaking. "Why would you do that?" she whispered. Ryan shrugged. "You two are always so serious. I'm trying to lighten things up." From that day, Lily no longer saw him as a prankster. She saw him for what he was, someone who fed off pain. It didn't stop at calls or words. While Lily and Sarah were away on a short vacation, they came home to a nightmare. The smell hit them first, like death soaked into the walls. In their bedroom under their sheets was a dead raccoon. "Oh my God!" Sarah screamed, stumbling backward. Lily ran for the window to get fresh air. Later they learned Ryan had followed Sarah one day, watched where she hid the spare key and let himself in while they were gone. "Just a little gift," he said when confronted. "You city girls don't appreciate nature." Cleaning cost them over $3,000. Their landlord threatened eviction. "He's grieving," Sarah kept saying. "He's not himself." But Lily was tired of giving grief that much power. She saw how Ryan smiled when Sarah cried. She noticed how he always watched Lily when something bad happened, like he was waiting for her to break. She knew this wasn't about mourning. It was about control. Then came the day Lily and Sarah's dog Murphy died. The golden retriever had been their joy, playful, gentle, always curling up next to Lily at night. They rushed him to the emergency vet after he vomited and collapsed. The vet's diagnosis: chocolate poisoning. Lily remembered. Ryan had joked about feeding Murphy a little chocolate bar the week before. "He deserves dessert," he'd smirked. Lily hadn't taken it seriously. She found the proof later. Screenshots on Ryan's public social account. He'd messaged a friend, "Guess who's getting rid of the mutt this weekend?" Murphy died in Lily's arms. Ryan, waiting in the lobby, asked loudly, "So, you gonna get a real dog next time?" That night Sarah snapped. She screamed at her brother in the parking lot. "You're sick, Ryan. Mom would be ashamed of you." Ryan broke down crying. He said he needed help. Promised to start therapy. He even showed them a prescription. For 6 months things were quiet. But Lily never forgot the taste of that day. She knew silence didn't mean safety, not with Ryan. On the morning of their wedding, Lily woke up anxious but excited. Sarah had gone to the venue early to get ready with her bridesmaids, leaving Lily to get dressed and meet them later. She wasn't surprised when Ryan showed up at her door. What surprised her was his tone. "Come, go. Let me drive you," he said, holding out a flask. "I just want to make things right. One toast. A peace offering." Lily stared at it. "Really?" she asked. "You think this erases everything?" Ryan sighed and looked genuinely sad. "I've changed, Lil. I swear. I'm in therapy. I'm on meds. This is your day. I want it to go perfectly for Sarah." His eyes almost looked honest. Lily hesitated, then slowly reached for the flask. It smelled like whiskey. She took a small sip. Nothing unusual. Ryan took a swig too and smiled. "See? Nothing weird." Against her better judgment, Lily followed him to the car. Maybe, for Sarah, it was worth one last chance. They drove toward Sunset Gardens in silence. Lily watched the sun glint off the windshield, trying to calm her nerves. Ryan hummed along to the radio. "It's a perfect day for a wedding," he said casually. But soon the dashboard started to blur. The edges of Lily's vision dimmed. She blinked and shook her head, but the world tilted slightly. Her fingers went numb. "You okay?" Ryan asked, glancing sideways. "You look a little green." "Wedding jitters." Lily tried to speak, but the words came out slurred. Her heart raced. Something was wrong, deeply wrong. "Pull over," she muttered. Ryan just kept driving. "Relax," he said lightly. "You'll be fine." By the time they reached the venue, Lily couldn't move her legs. Her head lolled against the seat. She heard Ryan mutter, "Let's get this over with," before he got out and opened her door. Ryan slung Lily's arm over his shoulder and half carried her toward the entrance. A few staff members setting up looked over. "Too much celebration already," Ryan joked. "We'll get her some coffee. Big day nerves." He sat her down on a bench near the bridal suite and turned to the wedding coordinator. "She had some bad shrimp last night," he explained, all concern and smiles. "Didn't want to cancel. She's a trooper." The coordinator frowned. "Should we delay?" "No need," Ryan said quickly. "I'll watch her." Lily's limbs felt like jelly. She heard them talking, but the words floated in and out. Every time she tried to lift her arm or reach for her phone, the effort exhausted her. Her jacket, with her phone inside, was bunched behind her back. Ryan had planned everything. She knew it now. But her body wouldn't let her warn anyone. Time didn't move right. People passed by, decorations went up, music played softly in the distance. Someone asked Lily if she was okay. Before she could answer, Ryan appeared like clockwork. "She's okay," he'd say with a soft smile. "Just needs a little rest. She'll bounce back." He played the role of supportive brother-in-law perfectly. Lily watched him through blurred eyes. He whispered to the DJ. He walked with purpose toward the caterers. Every few minutes he checked on her, loud enough for others to hear, but always with that tight smirk when no one else was looking. She tried again to stand but collapsed back against the bench. Her lips felt dry. Her thoughts scattered. Still, somewhere deep inside she repeated the same phrase over and over. "Stay awake. Don't let him win." Lily's saving grace arrived in a navy blue suit and a worried face. Joni, her best friend and maid of honor, found her slumped on the bench. "Lily." Joni knelt beside her. "What happened? You look... Oh my God." Lily tried to say her name. Joni grabbed her hand. "You're burning up. Where's Sarah? What did you take?" Before Lily could answer, Ryan stepped in. "Hey Joni, relax. He's just tired. Had some bad fish last night." Joni didn't even look at him. "We need to get her inside. Now." She and another bridesmaid helped Lily to the groom's suite, ignoring Ryan's attempts to follow. "I've got this," Joni snapped. "Go check on the flowers or something." Inside they laid Lily on a couch. Someone brought water. "Can you talk?" Joni asked gently. Lily nodded, slow and heavy. "Flask," she whispered. "Ryan did something." Joni's face hardened. Don't worry. We're going to fix this. Joni crouched beside Lily, holding her shoulders. We need to get this out of your system, she said. Drink some water, okay? Lily sipped slowly, her throat dry. Another bridesmaid, Emma, glared toward the door. Ryan's up to something, isn't he? She asked. Lily nodded weakly. Flask, he drugged me. Joni's eyes narrowed. We'll handle him. You just focus on getting to that altar. Lily tried to sit up but swayed. Sarah, can't know yet, she whispered. She'll freak out. Joni exchanged a look with Emma. Fine, Joni said. We'll stall him. Drink all this water. No arguments. Lily's head pounded. Somewhere in the building music started playing. Guests were arriving. She had to pull herself together before Ryan ruined everything. While Lily tried to steady herself, Ryan made his rounds outside the suite. He was smiling and shaking hands like he owned the place. Poor Lily, he said to a vendor. Food poisoning. But don't worry, I'm stepping in to help. Someone has to keep this day on track. Joni caught a glimpse of him through the door crack and rolled her eyes. He's setting up a narrative, she muttered. Painting you as the weak one while he plays hero. Lily groaned. Classic Ryan, she whispered. Joni knelt beside her. Look at me, Lil. He's not winning today. Not on my watch. Lily took a deep breath, her fingers trembling as she smoothed the fabric of her wedding dress. I can do this, she said, though it sounded more like a plea than a statement. Joni smiled faintly. That's the Lily I know. The ceremony began before Lily felt ready. The bridesmaids lined up and Joni practically held her upright. If you need to lean, just grab my arm, Joni whispered. Lily nodded, swallowing hard. As the music swelled, she walked to the altar, each step careful. Sarah stood there, radiant in her lace gown, her smile lighting up the garden. But the moment she saw Lily's pale face, her expression shifted to concern. Are you okay? Sarah whispered when they met. Lily forced a smile. I'm fine, she lied. Ryan sat in the front row, his expression a mask of false concern. Lily locked eyes with him briefly and his smirk returned, subtle but enough to make her stomach twist. The officiant's voice seemed distant. Lily focused on Sarah's hands, holding them tightly to ground herself. Do you take? The words blurred. She nodded, trying to keep her knees from buckling. When it came time for the rings, Joni reached into her pocket and froze. They're gone, she whispered, panic flashing in her eyes. Murmurs rippled through the guests. Ryan stood up casually, holding the ring box. Looking for these? He asked, smiling. Found them on a chair. Guess someone's nervous. He handed them over with exaggerated care. To everyone else it looked like he saved the day. To Lily it felt like a game she was losing. Sarah's jaw tightened but she said nothing. They finished the vows, though Lily's voice was shaky and Sarah's smile had dimmed. The moment they walked back down the aisle, Sarah pulled Lily aside. What's going on? She demanded softly. You're pale as a ghost and your voice. Was that Ryan? Lily opened her mouth to explain, but the photographer interrupted. Time for pictures, ladies. Let's get that glow. Sarah's eyes lingered on Lily. Later, she whispered. You're telling me everything. Lily nodded weakly. As they posed for photos, Ryan hovered nearby, adjusting flowers, talking to the DJ, always in the frame. Every flash of the camera felt like a spotlight on his sabotage. Joni stayed close, her eyes scanning for signs of trouble. I don't trust him, she muttered under her breath. Neither do I, Lily replied, her voice thin. The reception began with an ominous start. As guests filed into the hall, Lily immediately noticed the seating arrangements were wrong. Sarah's elderly grandmother was seated next to rowdy college friends, while Lily's boss was crammed near the speakers. Sarah frowned. This isn't what I planned. Ryan appeared, all smiles. There was a mix-up with the chart. I stepped in to fix it. He patted Lily's shoulder. You're welcome. Lily pulled away from his touch but he just grinned. The first course arrived, cold spring rolls and wilted salads. Sarah looked at the plates in disbelief. This is not what I ordered, she hissed. Ryan shrugged. Hey, catering issues happen. Lucky I'm here to smooth things over. The band was next. Instead of the soft jazz group Sarah had booked, 5 men with tattoos and ripped jeans set up electric guitars. What is this? Sarah asked, wide-eyed. Ryan clapped his hands. Surprise. I thought we'd kick things up a notch. You like metal, right? The band launched into a screaming song that made Sarah's grandmother cover her ears. Turn it off. Joni shouted. Lily staggered over, still weak, and tried to talk to the band. They showed her the text messages Ryan had sent them. Bride and groom love metal. Get loud, the messages read. Lily's blood boiled. This wasn't random chaos. Ryan was orchestrating every disaster. Sarah was furious now. That's it, she said, storming toward Ryan. But Lily caught her arm. Not yet, she whispered. He wants you to explode in front of everyone. Sarah paused, her jaw clenched. Then what do we do? Lily's eyes flicked to Joni. We play smarter than him. Joni nodded. I'll get the food sorted. There's a restaurant nearby, I'll call in favors. Sarah exhaled, visibly trembling. Hey, we fix this. Together they began damage control. Joni called the restaurant. Benjamin, Sarah's cousin, found a playlist to replace the screaming band, and Sarah moved through the guests with apologies and jokes. Slowly the room started to relax. But Ryan wasn't done. Lily saw him outside in the parking lot, talking to the replacement caterers when they arrived. He gestured wildly, waving his arms. Moments later the caterers began reloading their van. Oh no you don't, Lily muttered. She grabbed Joni and marched outside. Stop, she yelled. The driver hesitated. He said the food wasn't approved, something about allergies, the driver explained. Lily's voice shook but was firm. He's lying. Unload everything now or you'll ruin my wedding. The driver looked between them, confused. Joni stepped forward. Trust her. Not him. Reluctantly the caterers listened. Ryan smiled at Lily like it was all a game. Feisty. I like this new side of you. Inside, another disaster awaited. The wedding cake, a beautiful 3-tier design, had collapsed on the floor. Frosting smeared everywhere. Sarah gasped, covering her mouth. No. Ryan crouched beside the mess, pretending to inspect it. Must have been the table legs, he said innocently. Lily's eyes caught a smear of frosting on Ryan's sleeve. Her stomach sank. You did this, she said quietly. Ryan tilted his head. Prove it. Sarah's hands shook. I am so done with you, she whispered, tears brimming. Joni pulled Sarah aside while Lily stared at the ruined cake. Every part of this day had been poisoned by Ryan's need for control. As if that wasn't enough, the chocolate fountain began spewing liquid in all directions, splattering nearby guests. Kids screamed. Sarah's grandmother was nearly hit. This isn't an accident, Lily said under her breath. Joni nodded. I saw him near the fountain earlier. They scrambled to clean it up, but Ryan was already in the middle of the room, apologizing loudly. Poor setup by the staff, he announced. But don't worry, I'll fix it. His tone was smooth, convincing, as if he was the hero of the day. Lily wanted to scream. Instead she took Sarah's hand. Stay with me, she whispered. We're not letting him win. Then the microphone malfunctioned during the speeches. Static and screeches filled the air. Sarah's father tapped it, frowning. Ryan jumped up, fiddling with wires. Technical difficulties, he said cheerfully. But Lily saw him slip a small device into his pocket. A signal jammer, perhaps. Sarah's father didn't bother with the mic. He raised his voice and spoke anyway. Marriage is about love, but also about protecting each other from harm, even when harm comes from family. His eyes landed on Ryan. The room was silent. Ryan's smile faltered for the first time. Lily squeezed Sarah's hand. He's losing, she whispered. Ryan wasn't done yet. As the night continued, he approached the DJ station where Benjamin's phone was connected. He reached for it, but Benjamin blocked him. Not today, Benjamin said calmly. Ryan's face darkened for a split second. Then he grabbed a spare microphone. A toast, he announced. Everyone turned to look. Lily felt Sarah tense beside her. This can't be good, Sarah whispered. Ryan smiled as if nothing was wrong. To my baby sister, he began. To love, family, and forgiveness. I know I've made mistakes, but today I'm here to celebrate you too. He pulled out a flask, the same kind as before. Let's bury the hatchet. Drink with me, Lily. Lily froze. Everyone was watching. If she refused, she'd look bitter. If she accepted, who knew what he'd put in it this time? Sarah stepped forward before Lily could decide. "I'll take that," she said. Ryan grinned and handed it to her. Sarah popped the lid, sniffed it, then poured it onto the floor. Gasps filled the room as the liquid hissed, burning the wooden surface. "This is who you are, Ryan," Sarah said, her voice steady. "You've tried to ruin every good thing in my life. No more." Ryan stammered, "I didn't, someone must have," but no one believed him now. Sarah wasn't done. She pulled out her phone and hit play. A video of Ryan in the parking lot filled the room, his voice clear. "If I ruin the food, they'll never forget this wedding." Then another clip. Him bragging to the band about switching the playlist, laughing about chaos being the best gift. The room went silent. Ryan's face drained of color. He looked around, searching for someone to back him up, but everyone stared with disgust. Even his father turned away. "You're done, Ryan," Sarah said. "Leave before I call the police." Joni stepped forward, arms crossed. "And trust me, we have enough evidence to put you in jail." Ryan tried one last time. He dropped to his knees, fake tears streaming down his face. "Please. I need help. I'm sick. Don't do this to me." Sarah didn't flinch. "You've had years of chances, Ryan. You don't want help. You want control." Benjamin stepped away to call security. Ryan reached out to grab Sarah's dress hem. Joni blocked him with one hand. "Touch her and you'll regret it." Security arrived minutes later, flanking Ryan on both sides. He looked around again, but no one moved to help. As he was escorted out, he shouted, "You'll regret this, Sarah. I was trying to protect you. You always choose the wrong people." But his words fell flat. Everyone had seen the truth. Even those who once defended him stayed seated, silent. The room remained quiet for a moment, heavy with everything that had just happened. Then slowly Sarah's father began clapping. One by one guests joined in. Not for the chaos, but for Sarah and Lily. For their strength. For standing up. For enduring a day no one should have to. Sarah turned to Lily, her eyes watery but calm. "We're still here," she whispered. Lily smiled weakly. "Still married." Joni hugged them both, murmuring, "Now let's have a real party." Someone ordered pizza. Benjamin switched the playlist back to something soft and joyful. The florist repurposed the bouquets into makeshift centerpieces. Guests brought the energy. No one left early. Instead of first dances and catered meals, people danced barefoot to songs from someone's phone and ate paper-plated slices under string lights. It was imperfect, unplanned, and beautiful. Sarah gave a short speech. "This wasn't the wedding we imagined," she said, "but maybe it's the one we needed." Lily stood beside her, holding her hand. "Because we've already faced something harder than most couples do. And we're still here. Still in love. Still choosing each other." The crowd cheered. Sarah's grandmother, seated near the back, smiled with pride. "That's my girl," she said to no one in particular. The memory of the chaos would linger, but so would the strength. The guests saw something real, love-tested and unshaken. Later that night, after the last guest had left and the lights dimmed, Sarah and Lily sat on the floor of the now empty venue barefoot, sharing the last slice of pizza. "Did we actually just survive that?" Lily asked, half laughing. "Somehow yes," Sarah replied. "And you didn't even punch him. That's growth." They both laughed, though Sarah's eyes shimmered with sadness. "I wish he'd been different," she whispered. "I really do." Lily leaned her head on Sarah's shoulder. "Me too. But he's not. And you're not responsible for fixing him." Sarah nodded slowly. "I know. I finally see that now." They sat in silence, letting the stillness settle around them. For the first time in years, it wasn't a tense silence. It was peace. The days that followed were full of support. Family members reached out to say they were proud. Sarah's father filed a restraining order using the video footage and guest witness accounts. Ryan tried to twist the story online, but the truth was too solid to break. Friends rallied around Lily and Sarah, offering comfort, food, and help repairing what could be salvaged from the day. Their wedding favors, tossed by Ryan into the bathroom trash, were rescued and cleaned. The smashed guest book was pieced together. The cake couldn't be saved, but Sarah's grandmother baked a new one the following weekend. They cut it in their backyard with just family, and it felt more meaningful than the original plan ever had. 6 months later, Lily and Sarah took a quiet trip to a lake house they'd rented years ago. It was the first real moment they'd had to breathe. I keep thinking he'll pop out from behind a tree, Lily joked nervously one night. Sarah looked out over the water, then reached for Lily's hand. He doesn't get to live here, she said softly. Not in our peace. Not anymore. That night they burned the flask. The one Ryan had used to poison their wedding day. They threw it into the fire pit behind the cabin and watched the metal blacken and twist. Lily whispered, "Goodbye." Not to Ryan, but to the hold he once had. Time passed. The restraining order remained in place and Ryan, cut off from everyone, eventually moved to another state. Occasionally distant relatives would ask if they'd forgiven him. Sarah always answered the same way, "I've let go." But that's not the same as letting him back in. Lily flourished at work, finally free from the paranoia Ryan had planted. Sarah began volunteering at a local youth center, helping teens understand healthy boundaries. The scars Ryan left didn't disappear, but they faded. Most importantly, they no longer dictated Lily and Sarah's choices. Their love wasn't defined by what they'd endured. It was strengthened by it. Years later, on their 5th anniversary, they returned to Sunset Gardens, not to relive the nightmare but to reclaim it. The venue had been renovated. The burn mark on the floor was gone, but Lily knew exactly where it had been. She placed a small flower there, a quiet mark of survival. "This is where our marriage really began," she said. "In chaos but rooted in truth." Sarah smiled. And now, just joy. As they danced under the lights with close friends and laughter echoing through the garden, Lily finally understood what healing looked like. It wasn't forgetting. It was remembering without fear. Their story wasn't about a ruined wedding. It was about choosing love, boundaries, and peace. Again and again. No matter what tried to stop it. Moral lesson. True family protects, not poisons. Boundaries are not betrayal, they're survival. Choosing peace over toxic loyalty is not selfish. It's love. Remember to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe to this channel for more of this.